Hey, legends! Welcome back to Myths and Mythologies, the home of ancient tales and epic battles that stand the test of time. Before we dive into today's legendary story, I just want to say how much I appreciate you, the incredible community that makes this channel thrive. Your love for mythic heroes and timeless gods inspires every video we create. If you're ready to uncover the secrets of the gods, battle alongside epic warriors, and explore the stories that shaped civilizations, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an adventure. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, grab your sword, summon your courage, and let's step into a world of wonder together. The galaxy thrummed with the chaos of countless lives. Among them, none were as notorious as the interstellar bounty hunter known as Lobo. The Charnian, a pale-skinned juggernaut, reveled in destruction and carnage. With his flying space hog roaring through the cosmos, Lobo received his latest contract on the fringes of an asteroid bar named Shattered Rock Saloon. The employer? A shadowy conglomerate known only as the Hellspawn Collective. The target? Spawn, Earth's infernal anti-hero. A massive bounty glowed on Lobo's communicator. Spawn, Lobo said, chomping down on a cigar. Hellspawn or not, he ain't seen the main man in action yet. He cracked his knuckles, his lips curling into a bloodthirsty grin. Somewhere far below, on Earth's ruined streets, Spawn stood in the shadows of a decrepit alley. Cloaked in his iconic crimson cape, his glowing green eyes cut through the darkness. He felt the ominous presence of something, or someone, on the horizon. Spawn, the warrior forged in hell's flames, was no stranger to conflict, but this felt different. Lobo arrived on Earth like a meteor strike. His space hog screamed through the atmosphere, crashing into an abandoned factory, shattering its skeletal frame. Rising from the dust, Lobo's hulking figure, clad in spiked armor and leather, exuded menace. Spawn appeared atop the factory's remains, his cape swirling unnaturally as though alive. His chains clinked ominously, ready for the hunt. "Lobo," Spawn growled, his voice like grinding stone. "You're trespassing. Leave before I make you regret it." "Regret?" Lobo barked out a laugh. "The main man don't do regret, pal. I'm here for your head, and a sweet payday to boot." Spawn didn't waste words. His chains lashed out, but Lobo was faster than he looked, catching one midair and yanking hard. Spawn flew toward him, fists ablaze with hellfire, and their clash was like thunder, shaking the city block. The battle raged through the streets of New York. Spawn's infernal power clashed with Lobo's sheer brutality. Chains, fire, and necroplasm slammed into spiked clubs, explosives, and Lobo's indomitable strength. Spawn summoned a wall of hellfire, engulfing Lobo. But the Charnian walked through the inferno, his skin charred but healing almost instantly. Lobo grabbed Spawn by the throat and slammed him into the ground with such force that the pavement cratered. "Nice fireworks show," Lobo sneered. But the main man seemed better. Spawn retaliated with a massive burst of necroplasmic energy, sending Lobo flying into a nearby skyscraper. The building crumbled as Lobo emerged, dusting himself off. "You hit like my grandma," Lobo taunted, spitting out blood. "Then let's up the stakes," Spawn snarled, summoning his cape to ensnare Lobo. The sentient fabric wrapped tightly, dragging the bounty hunter into the air. Spawn used the aerial advantage to hurl Lobo through multiple buildings, each impact shaking the city. Lobo, however, seemed to thrive on the pain. With a feral roar, he broke free of the cape's grip, pulled out a chain hook, and swung it like a wrecking ball. The weapon slammed into Spawn, sending him crashing through the subway tunnels below. Underground, the battle took on a new dimension. Lobo fired his massive frag grenades, turning tunnels into fiery death traps. Spawn dodged with agility, using the shadows to his advantage. His chains struck from the darkness, slashing and stabbing. Lobo swung wildly, catching one chain and yanking Spawn toward him again. "I gotta hand it to ya, Spawn," Lobo said, grinning maniacally. "You're one tough bastard. Too bad that just makes this more fun for me." The ferocity of their fight began to attract supernatural attention. The fabric of reality trembled as hell itself opened a rift nearby. Demons poured forth, drawn to the energy of their conflict. These were not allies of Spawn, they sought to claim his power for themselves. Spawn scowled as he cut through the horde. "Stay out of this," he barked, his chains shredding the demons. But Lobo only laughed harder. "Oh, now it's a party," he bellowed, leaping into the fray. With a gleeful howl, Lobo tore through the demons with his bare hands, relishing the chaos. Spawn used the distraction to his advantage. Channeling the full extent of his necroplasmic reserves, he unleashed a blast so powerful it disintegrated the remaining demons and sent Lobo hurtling miles into the desert outside the city. The desolate wasteland stretched under a blood-red sky. Lobo crawled out of a massive crater, bruised but still grinning. "You just don't know when to quit, do ya?" he muttered, climbing onto his space hog. The vehicle roared to life, propelling him toward Spawn, who waited amidst the swirling sands. "I was made to fight monsters," Spawn said coldly. "But you're something worse. You're chaos incarnate?" Lobo revved his hog. "Flattery'll get you nowhere, Spawn." The final round began, an apocalyptic clash of wills. Spawn's cape morphed into deadly blades, slicing at Lobo with surgical precision. The bounty hunter, in turn, unleashed an arsenal of weapons, plasma rifles, spiked knuckles, and a blade crackling with an unknown energy. Spawn dodged a lethal swing, only for Lobo to grab him by the neck and slam him into the ground. Before Spawn could react, Lobo pinned him with his boot, raising his energy blade for the killing blow. "You fought well, Spawn," Lobo said, almost respectfully. "But the main man always." Spawn's cape shot up, piercing Lobo's arm and sending the blade flying. With a roar, Spawn broke free, delivering a devastating punch that sent Lobo skidding across the desert. Both combatants stood battered and bloodied, their surroundings reduced to smoldering ruins. Lobo charged, his unyielding will driving him forward. Spawn, tapping into the deepest reserves of his hellish power, summoned a massive infernal storm. The sand turned to glass as the storm engulfed Lobo. The Charnian fought through the maelstrom, his body healing as fast as it was damaged. But Spawn was relentless, pouring everything he had into the attack. Finally, Lobo stumbled, his regeneration faltering under the sheer magnitude of Spawn's assault. Sensing his opportunity, Spawn closed in, his chains wrapping tightly around Lobo's throat. "This ends now," Spawn growled, his eyes blazing. Lobo struggled, blood seeping from his lips. For the first time, a flicker of doubt crossed his face. But he spat in defiance, his grin never fading. "Do it, you bastard," he said. "Let's see if you've got the guts." With a final surge of power, Spawn's chains tightened, and the storm exploded in a blinding flash. When the dust settled, only Spawn remained standing, his cape billowing in the aftermath. Lobo's body lay motionless, his regeneration overwhelmed. The bounty hunter, the indomitable Charnian, had finally met his match. Spawn stood over Lobo's fallen form, his chest heaving. The battle had pushed him to his limits, but he had prevailed. Yet, as he looked down at the motionless Charnian, a strange respect filled him. "You were chaos," Spawn muttered. "But even chaos has its end." He turned and walked into the horizon, his cape trailing behind him. Somewhere in the void, the forces of hell and the cosmos reeled from the clash of these two titans. And though Lobo was gone, the legend of his fight with Spawn would echo through eternity. For the first time in ages, the galaxy knew silence.